Okay, the show is starting. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We on the go. We on it now, so understand me. This is the name of the show. The name of the show is Don't Delay Your Happiness. Be happy now. What I mean by be happy now is don't wait on happiness. Don't let happiness be a thing that interferes with you living. You understand? You have to live your life. You have to live it to the best of your ability. You have to realize, you understand me, that as you live your life, you got to understand one thing, that you only have today. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow hasn't got here yet. So don't be saying, I'm going to be happy when I get this. I'm going to be happy next year. I'm going to be happy when when I get this better job. I'm going to be happy when I get my new car. No, you be happy now. Those things might make you happier, but you're happy now. You're happy if you don't have anything. You're happy because you woke up this morning. You're happy because you're breathing. You got to be happy state of mind. When you're able to think, you think good thoughts, you think positive thoughts, you project positive energy. Happiness is a state of mind. All the other things surrounding that, they contribute to making you happier. That's just like if you by yourself and you have a woman. That makes you happier if you got the right woman. If you don't have the right woman and there's a lot of drama and tragedy and anxiety, then you're not happier. You're just with someone sharing misery. So you have to distinguish and determine what makes you happy, what interferes with your happiness, because a lot of things can interfere with your happiness. Where you think you're happy and then, you know what I mean, you don't be happy because the circumstances of the situation that interferes with you, they contribute to making you unhappy, you see. And what I mean by that is, it's like, for instance, I'll go back 25 years ago. When I was getting material things, I wasn't really realizing what real happiness was, because I was really happy when I was 1977, when I went to the joint, and I didn't have nothing but my mind and my thoughts and growing. I was reading books and doing positive things, and I was running 10 miles a day. I was doing the right things, and I had a purpose, right? And I was trying to get out the game and live a good square life, you understand? At a young age, I was thinking of this. But the thing that interfered with all that was when I got out, the people, my surroundings and my environment and people in my life, they wanted to go back to the same things that we were doing. So that's what I did. I got caught up into that by association and people that you're around. You got to cut all that loose. If they're going negative and you want to go positive and you want to do what you want to do and you got a dream, you got to cut all those people loose. And you got to realize, you understand me, that you got to be your best self. You have to be your best self by yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to be happy with yourself before you can be happy with someone else. And that's what people don't understand. Happiness is something that you create within you, you see. And then you can share and spread happiness. But people can get in your life and interfere with your happiness. So that's why you have to really, really put a shield on your happiness. But you got to be happy right now. You can't wait to put it off on other things or circumstances like people do. People always say it, when this happens, when that happens, or when I get this money. No, you don't do that. You be happy now with $2, and then if you get $100 or $50, then you're happier. But you're happy just by existing. I remember when I was playing and I was in the game and I was on active duty, I was happy because I was playing. I was on a pursuit of something, you understand? And then when I got something, I was happier, but I was happy because I loved what I was doing. I loved the game. That's why I said when the merchant marine job came upon me that my father gave me the choice to be, I didn't want that because the game was too good to me and I was street poison, but it was sweet then. It was nothing like it is now. The consequences in the game and all those things were not like they are now. It was a different situation. You understand me? Where it was a game, you could play, and it was an honor to play for your money, man, where you didn't have to go to work, because it was a handful of real players, man. It wasn't a lot of them. It was a handful of real straight-up players, man. And when you see people that were like you, they were all true with each other. They give you a jug. If you was broke or you was down on your luck, you get them a jug. If they down their luck, it was like we did that to each other, because we was chicken one day, feathers the next, but we knew the circumstances and the situation. So we just was striving on being happy. And then, we got caught up in the drugs and the alcohol and all that, and that took you away from that. But when I got back clean and I was still playing for my money for the 10 years that I do, but I was still in the game, I was happy until I got to trying to challenge and compare myself with other people, trying to compete with them, getting all these material things and getting in a situation where it was stressful. I wasn't keeping it simple. And by being an alcoholic and somebody on, recovering alcoholic and on drugs, you have to keep things a certain way. You have to realize you got to have things a certain way. If you don't, you can get caught up. Let me see what this is. Oh, just 5 minutes. You understand? And that's the reason why what I always say and believe this is you have to always think of yourself first. You got to be happy. And that comes from you. Don't say with this other woman or somebody else. People always have an excuse and say, oh, they make me do this. They make me feel like this. I know when I had friends and things, and I would compromise my happiness, to get along with them. You don't do that, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because it would never get better. You think the happiness is going to get better? You think it is, but it never does. Because adversity and different challenges and different things come up all the time. These things come up all the time. So you have to be happy as you deal with them. So you have to be happy. You can't have somebody dragging you down, somebody that's negative, somebody pessimistic. You can't be around that, man. You can't be around those kind of people. You got to be around people that enhance you, challenge you, motivate you, you understand me, and inspire you to be the best you that you can be. And when you do that, you understand me, you will win and you'll get the victory, you see. And that's what people don't understand. You don't put your happiness off. Do it right now. Right this minute. Think happy thoughts. You understand me? You might be in a situation where you say, for instance, you're in a situation and you're homeless, right? You're sitting on the ground right now with nothing. What's keeping you on the ground? Think to yourself, what's keeping you in the position you're in? Why aren't you happy? That's the first question you ask yourself. Why am I happy? Why I'm not happy? Why can't I be happy? You understand? And when you answer that question, then you'll realize you in control of your life. You can change. You can be happy just by that minute, by making the first step, getting off the ground, putting that bottle down, putting that spike down, and going to get you some help. You go to a recovery place, that's the first thing you do, go get help. In your state of mind, you're going to be happy because you're on the pursuit of doing what you can do immediately to be happy. It's a road to happiness, but you're on your way. And you're happy on your way because that's what it's all about. We're always on our way to something. Life is a journey, you understand me? You never reach your destination. You get better and better each and every day when you're doing what's right, you understand me, each and every way. And that's what it's all about. If you're on the ground floor, you understand me. See, I've been on the ground floor. That's why I know what I'm talking about. I've been on the ground floor. I've been on the top floor. So that's why I know when I say that you have to start from that ground floor, getting up, telling yourself, you understand me, you're going to get some help. Because you know you can't do it by yourself because, hey, you wouldn't be there if you can't. The choices you're making every day, grabbing a drink or grabbing a drug and being around the people that are encouraging you. They're not discouraging you, so you want to get where you can get some help, go to the meetings every day, do boom, 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 what things you got to do. You already know what you have to do. The point is you have to get up off the ground and choose to be happy. Now, you can be on the ground like some people, and you consider yourself happy. You can be on the ground and be happy. Be on the ground and accept that as your way of life. You get your little drink, you get your little $3 a day, you go get you something to drink, you get your mind fogged up, you know what I mean? But you a happy drunk. You understand me? It's not getting you in trouble. You're not being in nobody's way. You know what I mean? You like your procedure, your program, you drinking. You know what I mean? You got a little cuddy hole you can go in, you get your money, whatever, say you get money. You got income, so you get money. So, you know, if you don't get money, you know how to hustle and make money, enough to get by, and you consider yourself happy. If your mind tells you you're happy, you happy. Other people can't determine if you're happy or not. You know, you might be happy on the ground. You understand? It's up to you to determine that. That's why people can't tell you when you're happy and what makes you happy. People that be in mansions, people be in Rolls Royces, and they don't be happy. But you understand me? They want to think the material things make them happy, but it's not. You understand? It just keeps them pacified and keep them thinking they better than somebody else, or thinking they this and thinking they that. But the person that's on the ground that discovered he don't care about none of that or whatever, and he's doing what he's doing, and he's happy doing it, there's nothing wrong with that if you're happy doing it. Most people are not happy when they're on drugs and drinking. They're not happy because drugs and drinking, they bring you down. It's very few that can be content. But you got people out there on the street that's not using drugs and not drinking, and they're on the ground. And they doing what they doing because they like doing it. They fishing that and doing all that. But I'm saying the average person that's striving to be successful, that's got everything going for themselves. What I mean by that is they have a place to stay. They're not on drugs, they're not drinking. They might be, recreational drinkers. They might drink recreationally. They might use drugs recreationally. They're messing with people, you understand me there. When they mess with them, it's drama. They're not growing. They're doing the same thing all the time. They don't feel fulfilled. Their life is not fulfilled. They don't have a purpose. They're not motivated to do better. And they're getting older. They're like in their 50s, 60s. And they know they should have more, do more. They might have some material things. They're working hard every day. They got a mate. They with them because they don't be by themselves. They're not happy with the person they with. They have a lot of reasons why they're not happy. And they want to figure it out, I'm not saying they need counseling. All I'm saying is self-help. See, I've been to a lot of self-help groups. I've been, I'm a motivational speaker. You understand me? Humanitarian and all that. I'm widespread on my knowledge. So by me being in the fast life and then being in the square life and knowing what's wrong and what's right, I know what I need and what's best for me. That's all I care about is me. But I know the recipe that got me where I'm at, so I know I can tell people that. You understand? But people got to be ready to listen. And that's the thing about it. That's why I said, be happy now. Don't put happiness off. Because if you put your happiness off, you understand me, you're not going to make it. Because it's going to be a habit of putting it off, putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. And people do that. Do what you got to do right now today. Whatever it is you got to do that, get it out the way. If you got paperwork or something you got to do it, get it out the way. And don't let it be, it's not an interference when it's something you got to do, you get it. It's just something you got to do. You get it out the way. It don't interfere with your happiness. It interferes with your happiness when you put it off, drag it along, and you worry about it. That's when it's stealing your happiness. See, something can steal your happiness, just that simple. And you don't realize it. Something that you got to take care of, but don't put it off. Whatever it is, get on top of it, And that's the reason why a lot of people, understand me, don't realize that they put their happiness off. They don't even try to be happy. They don't even try to get with a woman. What I'm saying is they feel lonely. They're at home and they feel alone, but then again, they don't have to be alone. They could go out and they don't have to have a woman. They could be on the pursuit of a woman. What I mean is be out there talking to women, having fun, interacting. All that contributes to your happiness because you're doing something, you're striving for something. You're shooting for something that you want. When you sit home and don't do it, then you're delaying your happiness. Say, when the right woman, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that. But you're not actually pursuing the woman, the thing that you want. See, it's like if you want a new car, what do you have to do? You have to go get a job. You have to get the money to get the car. But don't let that be the reason why to make you happy. Be happy on the pursuit of getting what you want to get. The happiness starts with you. All the things you get from being happy automatically come because you're ambitious and you're moving toward a goal, a purpose, a set. You want to be somebody. So you strive toward that. It's just like me. I wake up happy every day, so I look good. I dress up, you understand me? Dressing up is being my forte. Dressing up is what I do because I'm happy, you understand me, being me. So I do that. I be dressed from head to toe. That's why I can let people know how it goes, you understand? Hat, shoes, everything. I hook it up, you understand me? I'm a hook-up artiste. And that's what I do because I'm a fashion coordinator. So when I do that in my fashion, it's just one of the things I do to enhance my happiness. Because I'm happy just for being who I am. I'm happy for what I am and who I am and what I do. So it's like I don't let that determine my happiness. See, I don't let nothing determine me being happy. You see, I don't let that discourage me or get in my way. I be happy because, not for no other reason, you know what I mean? And that's something that you have to learn. And I'm going to tell you something else. Happiness is a habit. You wake up every day happy and you be happy every day just like It's like anything else. You develop a habit of being happy. And that's the thing I'm going to tell you, too. When you're happy right now, something might come in your way, something might happen. You run around, you lose your wallet, right? So you're not unhappy, you're just trying to figure it out. So your happiness is not stolen, you're stressing for a minute till you find it or whatever happens. And then when you get that situation resolved, you're on the right track and you're happy. You see, you never was not happy. It's just you were in misery for a second because your happiness was stolen because something came up that got in your way. But you working on that immediately when it happens, you straighten that out. You get right on top of it. You don't wobble in misery. You don't sit around there complaining, oh, I lost my phone. I did this. No, you go right to the phone company and do what you have to do immediately. You know what I mean? And get back on the right track. On the happiness track, in other words. You don't let nothing steal your joy, you understand me? You get it right back together, you get it fulfilled. Some people wallow in it and go 2 or 3 days and don't find it and all that kind of stuff, No, that don't pay. And be looking for it. No, you go there and get that straightened right away because you're steady worrying. And worrying is misery, and misery ain't good. So you don't want to be caught up in no misery, believe me. You want to stay on the straight. You want to stay up on the straight and narrow. That's what you want to do. If you stay up on the straight and narrow, man, let me tell you something. You stay on the straight and narrow, right? And you do what you know is right. I don't know how much experience you got in life or how old you are. But happiness, you remember this one thing about happiness. Be happy now. Don't let circumstances, it's the way you think. If you ever thought, what I learned this when I went to jail, I did time. And my thoughts were beautiful because I knew what I was going to do when I got out. I was preparing for the life I wanted to live and all that. And that made me happy because I was pursuing something. I didn't have anything then, but I had a dream and I was pursuing it. That makes you happy. You can be right here in life, free as you are, and think the same way. You know what I mean? Immediately get on what you want in life. Say if you're a young person and you want to be, say you're a musician, you want to be a musician. Pursue being a musician. If you want to be a rapper, do that. Even if it's on your side time, do that and then get you a job that you like doing to earn your income. But do something to motivate you to make you happy as a hobby, to make you happy and feel good. Make sure you take time to do that. And if you do that, get you a hobby or something that you like doing, enjoy doing, and do that. Do it at least every day. Something that you enjoy doing. And every day you do that. Take time out. Don't deprive yourself of what you got to do to make you happy. It's just like me. I like dressing. I like, everything I do, I like doing it, the best of my ability. So, I try to do that. You know what I'm saying? Things I do, place I go, people I talk to, a woman I be on time, you understand what I'm saying? I'm never late. It's a habit I got to be in straight and doing everything, you understand, like I'm supposed to be. That's why I stay in first place, and people don't understand that, because I'm racing my own race. I'm not in nobody else's race. I don't race against other people. You see, I don't do that. I don't compare myself with no one else. That's another mistake. You know what I'm talking about? You try to compare yourself with someone else. Those other people, they're not started out the gates you started out of. I don't know what setbacks you had or if you had any. But behind every setback, there's a comeback. You understand? Adversity is to see the greater benefit. If you have never lost nothing, you don't know what it is to gain something. If you've never seen the dark, you don't appreciate the light. There's a lot of things that you have to experience in order to appreciate happiness. Because a lot of people take happiness for granted when it's right there in front of them. It's at their grasp. But a lot of times they don't realize that because they've never been without mediocrity or wherever they're at where they're just staying above ground. They might just be scraping the ground. They never hit rock bottom, you understand? They never been in that situation. Me, I've been on the ground floor in the game and in life, coming out with no shoes on, from jailhouse, and hey, I had to rise up. All that makes you appreciate other things better. Like just a roof over your head can mean so much. When these other people, they have a roof over their head, but they're not happy because they want a mansion, or they want a 5-bedroom home, or they want a house full of furniture. That don't make them happy. That makes them impressive to other people, and they think they're happy. All the money in the world, that ain't making you happy. You know what I mean? I remember my man Smiley used to always say, and he told me this. He said, man, are you eating and sleeping? He was so clean, he was so sharp, he stayed on fly. And he'd go to work every day, dance in front of Saks Fifth Avenue, and did his thing. And he was happy as could be. You understand me? He was a happy man. He was in his, he died in his 80s, but he was in his 70s when I was running with him, you understand? And I was like in my 50s. 50s, I was a young man. But I looked up to him. He was my mentor because his spirit and the way he acted and the way he interacted with these rich white people that really cared for him. And he was a poor black man that come out there, from the game. And I said, man, that man got class, he's polished, he got finesse. And some of these other players, they couldn't touch him because they were too, ghettoized, and they were too street-wise to get around those people with class. They looked up to him, took pictures, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, Smiley, you understand me? And took pictures with him and, painted portraits and gave him money, charged thousands of dollars for portraits and give him hundreds of dollars, all this type of stuff. The man had the key to the city. The man was the ambassador of the city, you understand? On the man, it was a hell of a dude. Willie Brown gave it to him. And then he passed the torch to me, you understand, as the best dressed man in the city. But the point is that I looked up to this man because I said to myself, this man is happy. He sang, smiled. He had a song called about smiling. And he smiled. They called him smiling because he smiled. He stayed happy, man. And then even though he did drugs and did what he did, he was a happy man because he did things with moderation and he lived a happy life. Because when I was friends with the man, I know how he did. He dressed the way he dressed every day immaculately. That was the first thing that made him feel good. And then he sang and danced and got people to smile. Man, that man had it his way. You know what I mean? He knew he was doing what he had to do. You know what I'm talking about? And the man was a hell of a man. A lot of people underestimated him. And that's why I said to them, I said, oh, you underestimate him. That man's a player, man, in the highest degree. You really don't understand. From what he came from and where he's at and what he's doing now. Dancing in front of Saks Fifth Avenue, man. Man, ain't nobody done it since then. Ain't nobody going to. There's nobody ever been like him, and there never will be. And that's why, you understand what I'm saying? The man was a living legend. And people don't realize and respect people that are on that level. I was around all those people, you know what I mean, the Ward brothers. I be around all these top flight people to be who I am. The people I've been around, the knowledge I got from people I've been around. It's from the people that I'm affiliated with. That's why I said to be the best, you got to be around the best. You understand? Like when I was with Charlie Walker, he was a hell of a cat in the square world. You know what I mean? And hey, man, it's just, I always be around the best so I get the best information. I was around Ron New. I interviewed him, you understand, on the show. All these people, man, that did phenomenal things, man. They did great things in the game and in life, man. These people that did all this. Lydell, he was, all these people, rest in peace. They're all gone now, but the point of it is that life, you got to be happy now, man. Life, don't put it off like I'm waiting on this, I'm waiting on that. The point is these people are all gone now, but they lived their life to the best of their ability while they were living. They didn't wait till they were gone. They lived then. And I learned this from them, man, to do it now, man. Don't wait, because you don't know how long you got, and you don't know, man. You want to enjoy life while you can live and be the best you can be, you understand me? And that's what you want to do. You want to be the best. When you want to learn how to be the best, you can be, not nobody else. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. You got these young people, they're trying to identify, they're trying to get an identification. When you're young, like under 20, 25, I say under 30, you're still trying to find who you are. I understand that part. So you be around people that are strong-minded, younger people, a little older than you, that are on the right track, that are following older people than them, and find out who you want to be and what you want to be like, what you want to do. Don't get around somebody doing something positive, that's, drug-free, you understand me, and happy and got the recipe to win in life. That's what you want to do. Don't look at the underworld people, the underground people that were doing it 30, 40, 50 years ago, because it's not like it was then now. The world has changed. The world's not like it was. People always say, oh, man, you look at these old movies, you look at these old people that did what they did back in the day. That was at that time. A time was different. When I came out, man, it was so much different. When I tell people about the game, they ask me things, I tell them what I feel about it now and what they got to do to be better in this world. Not that world. That was my world. That was a different world. That's not the world we living in today. So what I speak on, the knowledge I have from back in the day to what I have today makes me give you the recipe to win now and be happy right now, because people do not know how much time they got, and what. You know, I was talking to my nephew the other day. We was talking about this guy Gary. He got killed in front of a liquor store, and this man wasn't no more than, I guess he probably was in his 20s. He might have been. He was in his 20s. He had a good job at the place where they sell General Motors back in the. I think this had to be the 70s, late 70s. Yeah, this was the late 70s, man, mid 70s. Yeah, this was a real long time ago. And this man, you know, at that time was doing good, had a good job. It was doing great. This was before my nephew even got his job, you know what I'm saying? Now he's doing great, doing wonders. But back then, this guy went in the store, and the man, he got killed in the store, and they dragged him in out there, just doing some foods he used to drink, and he used to get beside himself and get belligerent and all that. And sometimes people can do the wrong things or say the wrong things, and they can lose their life, you know. But you're young, you don't know better, but you got to be careful. Now, young people don't know, they learn the hard way. But that's why I'm telling you, don't drink, don't do drugs, be clean, because in the long run, that ain't going to get you nowhere. That's going to hang you up. You're going to go through some bad experiences. You'll end up in jail. You're going to have to learn the hard way. And there's no need to learn the hard way, because you might not get the lesson. You might get messed up in learning the lesson. The lesson might be so harsh that the lesson might be detrimental to your life. So don't even go through the lessons that some people made it through that you might not be able to make through, because years ago, the lesson wasn't as detrimental as it is now. You could lose your life behind drinking and drugs. You know, people OD on drugs all the time. People drink, they get in accidents, they die. All kind of things. Don't even go that direction. Be a person that's a square from the gate, that's successful, get you a good education. If you're good at athletes, play ball. If you're good at a musician, play music. If you're good at rapping, rap. I'm not telling you not to rap. Rap, but don't get in the fast life and try to rap and say you're a pimp. Just rap and concentrate on just rapping. If you want to rap about the game, rap about whatever you feel like rapping that you love rapping about. But don't interfere and say, you know, because that's when you're a studio gangster. Don't be a studio. Be real. Whatever you do, be real about it and be honest and love what you're doing. And if you do that, you can't lose. You can't lose when you love what you're doing. Believe that. You cannot lose when you love what you're doing. And I'm going to wrap this show up, ladies and gentlemen, because I got 2 or 3 minutes, you understand me? And in 2 or 3 minutes, I got to say goodbye, because time waits on no one, and we gotta realize one thing, that be your best self, be happy now. Be happy now. Don't put happiness off, because happiness is not nothing to put off. Be happy today, because like I say, tomorrow is not promised. If you can't be happy tomorrow always is always another tomorrow. So don't say that. Be happy immediately. Be happy now. If you know how to be happy now, you will win. Like I said before, you will be on a winning streak. And that's what you want.